Because Rick also has a baby mother who's currently working as a call girl. He has a daughter by Brooke.
I can kick Rick ass. Kick Rick Ross ass, right?
I'm deciding to your life up. Rick Ross, I'm gonna your life up.
Rick Ross spent years acting like he didn't have a care in the world, but his baby mama just exposed the real reason he's afraid of 50 Cent. And it's way worse than anyone expected. The same man who built his empire on being a boss has apparently been losing sleep over the one enemy he can't escape. And when Ross finally clapped back, it wasn't just about pride, it was about survival. The way 50 tore him apart from the inside out will make you wonder how Ross even managed to stay standing. And believe it or not, it all started with a look. That's right, a single look. One glance at the 2008 BET Awards, and suddenly, Rick. Ross had a problem with 50 Cent. Now, 50? He had no idea what was even happening. He later claimed he didn't even remember seeing Ross that night. But Ross, he took it as a sign of disrespect. And in the world of hip-hop, disrespect isn't just an insult, it's a declaration of war.
Some 50, they've had a long-standing beef for years. And I think this Rick Ross beef is the one beef that 50 will never let go of.
Rick Ross was at the peak of his career, feeling completely untouchable. With 2 platinum albums to his name, he was carving out his legacy as the ultimate rap boss. But the moment he locked eyes with 50 Cent at the BET Awards, something shifted? Maybe. It was paranoia. Maybe it was a calculated move for clout. Either way, Ross made a decision that would alter his career forever. He went after one of the most ruthless figures in hip-hop history. The problem? 50 Cent didn't even remember seeing Rick Ross that night. That's the level of pettiness we're dealing with. But Ross saw it as an opening to launch a full-scale attack. Let's be real. He had no idea what he was getting himself into. He thought stirring up drama with one of rap's biggest names would elevate his status. But what he didn't see coming, 50 Cent was about to go nuclear.
Anything about Ross and his career that you'd have any respect for?
Oh, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him.
Ross didn't just throw a little shade in an interview. He went straight for the kill with mafia music. In the track, he made a not-so-subtle jab at the house fire that nearly took out 50's baby mama and their son. At first glance, it might have sounded like typical rap bravado, but everyone knew exactly what Ross was implying. He was stirring up a scandal that 50 had already been accused of orchestrating. Shaniqua Tompkins, 50's ex, had publicly blamed him for the fire that destroyed an entire house while 6 people were inside. Ross seized the moment, capitalizing on the controversy. And it didn't take long for 50 to respond. But Ross didn't stop at just a diss track. He doubled down, making bold claims about his dominance in hip-hop, acting like he had already won the war before it even began. The problem? If there's one thing 50 Cent knows how to do, it's how to turn a rap beef into all-out personal warfare. He wasn't about to just drop a diss track, he was about to tear down Rick Ross' entire public persona. That's when he started digging. And what he uncovered? It changed everything.
Say what the you want about 50 Cent, but I swear this man's pettiness is uncanny. Like this, I feel it's everybody's alter ego.
50 blew Ross's image apart by exposing his past as a correctional officer, something that completely shattered his credibility as a street-certified boss. Ross had built his entire brand on being a larger-than-life kingpin, a hustler who clawed his way out of the trenches. But 50 came with receipts. Pictures of Ross in his correctional officer uniform spread like wildfire, and 50 made sure the world knew that the man rapping about pushing weight was really just pushing prison paperwork. But he didn't stop there. He went straight to the source, Rick Ross's own baby mama, Tia Kemp. And let's just say she had a lot to get off her chest. Sitting down with 50, she aired out every embarrassing detail about Ross's life, and there was no coming back from it.
It's sort of embarrassing to me, because as you listen to his raps, you would definitely believe him, but I mean, it was surprising that he would sit there and say he spends $200 a month on food, $300 a month on clothes, his jury is rent.
According to her, Ross wasn't the boss he pretended to be. She claimed he was leasing cars, renting jewelry, and living a life that was nowhere near as lavish as he made it seem in his lyrics.
Where the money came from to put a down payment on a $1 million home. And, it's just sad, and I just want to prove the facts today here on This Is 50. It's all real. I'm coming from.
But that wasn't even the worst part. 50 took things to a whole new level.
Also has a baby mother who's currently working as a call girl. He has a daughter by Brooke, right there. Can you see that? This is like the adult. This is like where you can find really exclusive whores.
Tia even confirmed the officer rumors.
Had to step down from the position. And I asked him about it. And of course, he denied it, which his sister confirmed it. He told me that he was a correction officer.
Tia backed up the correctional officer rumors. Then 50 did what Ross never could. He took Tia on a shopping spree and spoiled her. Ross stayed silent. There was nothing he could do to undo the damage. The internet had already run wild with it, and 50 had just pulled off one of the most disrespectful moves in hip-hop beef history. But then, 50 made a mistake. He took things too far. He leaked a tape featuring another one of Ross's baby mamas, Lastonia Leviston. Not only did this move backfire, but it cost him big time. She sued him for emotional distress, and the lawsuit hit 50 hard, so hard that he had to cough up $5 million. That loss stung so much that he even had to file for bankruptcy. For the first time in this entire beef, 50 actually took an L. Meanwhile, Ross, he just kept making music like nothing ever happened. And surprisingly, fans didn't seem to care about the whole Officer Ricky scandal anymore. Fast forward, just when it seemed like this feud had finally died down, Tia Kemp wasn't done stirring the pot. She hopped on Instagram Live and let the world know Rick Ross is still scared of 50 Cent. Why? Because 50 knows too much. Tia didn't hold back. She claimed Ross had deep, dark secrets he was desperately trying to keep hidden. And she hinted that whatever he was involved in might be way bigger than just rap beef. Then, things got even messier. Some old school photos of Tia started making rounds online, specifically her 2009 Smooth magazine cover shoot. Now, baby mama, thirst traps aren't exactly new, but what made these pictures a bombshell was who she was posing with. Scent, Rick Ross's longtime enemy, was right there behind the camera, like he was directing some kind of personal art project. In the now viral cover shot, Tia is draped over 50, rocking nothing but lace panties, a sheer top, and red heels, while 50 is stretched out on the floor, casually aiming a retro camera at her. And if that wasn't shady enough, Smooth Magazine made sure to rub salt in the wound. The headline, "Where's the beef?" Guest editor 50 Cent introduces Rick Ross's baby mama Tia. Not only did 50 help Tia land her little magazine moment, but he made sure Ross knew exactly who was behind it. Fast forward to today, and these two are still finding ways to go at each other. The latest chapter? Rick Ross linking up with Big Meech after his prison release, a move that pissed 50 off. Why? Because 50 is the executive producer of the BMF TV series, and to him, this was the ultimate betrayal. He wasted no time clapping back, posting a giant rap meme on Instagram with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." But that wasn't even the worst part. In the caption, 50 made it clear Meech had made his biggest mistake by cutting ties with one key person, Tammy Cowens. If you're wondering who that is, you're not alone. Tammy was Meech's assistant and business partner back in the day, but here's the plot twist. She allegedly flipped and became an FBI informant. And just in case all this wasn't messy enough, Ross jumped in, laughing at how pressed 50 was over Meech taking a picture with him.
Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a nigga, put your back against the wall and just slide.
The back and forth between them seems endless, but there's one person who might enjoy clowning Ross just as much as 50 does. Tia. She took things even further by dragging Ross into Diddy's freak-off party scandal, claiming he was involved in the same shady dealings that landed Diddy in the middle of federal trafficking charges. See Oranitique?
Like the f***ing Diddy Dula parties. I'm in this and that's another thing. When is we gonna see you over there with Sean Cole?
She straight up told Ross to check on his friend, throwing shade at their past parties and that oddly close social media bromance they had. Tiui.
Don't give dog a f***ing hug like I said he was on his nuts. Oh, that f***ing year, you and Callie big fat. Callie, your fat ass go out there and cut your yard trying to go viral like Will with no shoes on. Boy, we know goddamn you ain't cutting nothing but a fucking tongue.
That wasn't even the first time she called him out. Tia went on Instagram Live, straight up clowning Ross for staying silent about Diddy's scandal. Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now? I know y'all on them tapes, freaky. I know you is. Time to show them CHS now. I ain't letting up on you. But this wasn't just some random rant. Tia came with receipts, and she wasn't afraid to name drop. Bunnies.
Brother over there paying people to put out. He over there paying people to put out. And he's running off with his money, and it's getting back to me. So now, I'm finna send the feds over there to y'all motherfucking empire. See, you had the right bitch today.
Tia's next move? Apparently she's ready to blow the whistle, sending federal authorities straight to Ross's doorstep. But then, things took a much darker turn. Kemp dropped a bombshell that left fans stunned. A murder. She called out a name that had never been linked to Ross before. Miss Carroll. And the way she said it had everyone listening. We gonna talk about Miss Carroll. Y'all know who Miss Carroll is. You know that's behind your brother. I'm gonna make sure her family sues your whole estate, because that case is not closed. If you're wondering who Miss Carroll is, Kemp claimed she was murdered after leaving her mother's house, and the drama was allegedly tied to Ross and his crew. She even brought up another incident, a man shot right in front of Black House, hinting that this too might be connected to Ross's inner circle.
We gonna talk about Miss Carroll. Y'all know who Miss Carroll is. You know that's behind your brother. I'm finna make sure her family sue y'all whole estate, because that case is not closed.
If you're wondering who Miss Carroll is, Kemp claimed she was murdered after leaving her mother's house. And the drama was allegedly tied to Ross and his crew. She even brought up another incident, a man shot in front of Black House, suggesting yet another potential connection to Rosé's circle. We about to dig up a whole bunch of maggots right now. I'm not about to play with you, you old sick. Then, during an episode of Keisha Please, Tia spilled even more tea. But first, she had some things to get off her chest. After 18 years of dealing with co-parenting drama with Rick Ross, she's completely over the games. Yo.
Back and forth. If, people that's been around.
Imagine trying to raise a son while the other parent keeps pulling disappearing acts, popping back up like some twisted game of peekaboo. Tia's had enough. She's not just here for the flashy headlines, she's airing out all the family. Drama, the dirty laundry, and the receipts she's been holding onto for years. And guess what? She claims Ross is out here with more kids than he can even keep track of.
I'm getting that. I don't need your fucking check. It wasn't even about your check. You didn't have that when I met you. So my baby wasn't a check baby. All of the 9 or 10 kids you got now, those are check babies.
She got 10 kids now?
Oh yeah, y'all didn't know that? See, he only acknowledged toy or whatever y'all know about. Whatever y'all could Google, but girl, it's about 9 or 10 sure.
She dropped some heavy hints that Ross has been keeping some serious skeletons in his closet. Secrets he doesn't want the world to know. Like, for example, the fact that he allegedly has a child with a Russian woman. So
he was talking about Drake, girl. He got one that looked just like Drake from a Russian woman. I can't wait till he put that one out there. What you waiting on, fat bat?
But this isn't just about Ross being a dad. According to Tia, Ross cares more about flexing his power and ego than actually supporting his kid. She told Young Miami about the time Ross tried to send their son off to some random college in Mississippi, just so he could be closer to his grandmother. Shob.
Can you imagine having a parent that's, been in and out, being supportive at one point and not being supportive, and you just in the middle of things? You have done nothing. Regardless of what me and Ross' issues are, he's not supposed to take that out on my son. And for years, he has been using Lil Will as a scapegoat because he know that's the only thing can hurt.
Tia also opened up about the struggles of raising a child in the public eye. Her son is now off at an HBCU, but she painted a heartbreaking picture of him having to explain to his classmates why his dad didn't show up to his high school graduation. This is a kid who had Ross cheering him on at football games, but when it came to one of the biggest milestones of his life, Ross was nowhere to be found.
You couldn't make it to his high school graduation. You could have stood on the other side of the auditorium.
And you think that was because of you?
Of course. It's to trigger me in some certain way, make him feel a certain way.
Tia isn't shy about how much this hurt her and her son, but what frustrates her even more is how Ross seems to use their child as a pawn in their ongoing drama. And don't even get her started on Ross's sister, Renee. If you thought the beef with Ross was intense, Tia's got a whole other side of shade reserved just for Renee.
Renee is in the middle of everything because she handle everything for Will. So Will listen to a lot of things that Renee says. You get what I'm saying? Renee is a bitter person because she's never had a man to not do anything for her.
Apparently, Renee has been meddling in Tia and Ross's business since day one. Tia has zero respect for her, and she doesn't hold back when explaining exactly why.
Be honest with you, she's always been in our business and just not happy for her brother, and I just don't have no respect for that. She know what I have done for her brother, and I've been there. It's not about money, fame, or any of that. She knows that her brother has a heart for me, and she can't take that because a man has never did what her brother is doing for other women.
Tia also opened up about an incident where she got into an altercation with one of Ross's other baby mamas.
Child neglect with no intent to harm, battery on her, and aggravated battery to deadly weapon because she was trying to exit the gate of the development that I stayed in, and the car to make her stop, got out, we got into a fight, and I went to jail. The Will was in the back seat, he wasn't nothing but a year old, so they took me to jail and gave me child neglect with no intent to harm because I left him in the car to get out the car to fight.
Then Tia gets real about the pressure she's faced over the years to stay quiet for the sake of keeping the peace. But after 18 years, she's done staying silent.
Been back and forth and inconsistency with co-parenting and me being quiet and saying, screw this, let me do what I gotta do for my child, and then saying, boom this, I'm being disrespected. Being disrespected. Love. You know what I mean? Because you can be loved all day, but being disrespected in the midst of love is one thing. You know what I'm saying? So it just got to a point to where I just said enough was enough.
She also revealed that Ross has been trying to silence her with cease and desist letters.
Threatening legal action if she doesn't stop talking. But Tia, she doesn't care. She told Ross to take his legal threats and shove them. Ross tried to respond, but at this point, the damage was done. The internet had already connected the dots, and things were looking real bad for him. People started questioning everything. Was there more to Ross's past than we knew? Was he hiding something darker? Did 50 Cent actually win this beef? Or did Ross manage to survive despite all the humiliation? And the biggest question, why is Ross so scared of 50 Cent? Most importantly, what does 50 know that we don't? Well, trust. This story is far from over. If you thought this was wild, wait until you hear what's coming next. Stay tuned because this tea is just getting started.